Do you want more customers? Then you need to watch this video all the way through. In this one, I'm going to be breaking down how one job turned into 3 more jobs in a neighborhood and a few strategies on how we plan to get even more work in this subdivision. So if you stick around to the end, you're going to have a plan to maximize the return on every single job that you get. But if you're afraid of the winter slowdown, then you need to check out the live class that Mike is doing, going over the 5 sneaky strategies that he uses to generate $20,000 a month in the winter slow season, so that way you can copy him and never be afraid of winter again. That is coming up very soon, so be sure to check it out. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description. But with that being said, let's go ahead and walk through how we took one job and leveraged it into multiple other ones. First and foremost, we got in front of them first, okay? So for anybody who doesn't know, you have to get a job first before you can leverage that job into more work. And the way that we got our first customer was, it was a roof wash and a driveway cleaning, and we got them through a Facebook ad. Now, if you guys missed my Facebook ad class, I'll be sure to leave a link down in the comment section and the description. In it, I go over an ad that landed us over $80,000 in jobs, and I also go over a lot of the strategies that I'm currently implementing in order to get customers and jobs off of Facebook. So we got our first customer off of Facebook. Step 1, get in front, land the job, do a good job. Step number 2, you want to pass out flyers and put out yard signs. So whenever we're done with the first job, or kind of as we're wrapping up, we start passing out flyers, putting them in mailboxes. Sometimes we'll knock on doors and say, hey, we're doing some work in the subdivision. If you guys need anything, let us know. Hand out flyers that way. We also put out a yard sign in all of our customers' yards. And if it's a good neighborhood, we'll also put a yard sign towards the front end of the entrance. The goal with this is once you get into a neighborhood, we want to try to leverage as many jobs as we can off of that. So we want to own that neighborhood, if you will. So we do the job, we get the job, we pass out flyers, build social proof because we're already in the neighborhood, and we try to land other jobs that way. And that's essentially how we get the job that you're watching right now. We passed out flyers. This customer said that they wanted to get a quote, and we sent them over a quote, landed the job, got them on the schedule. So biggest thing is we got back into the neighborhood as well. The biggest mistake that people make with regards to flyers is they're not very professional. You want to make sure you spend money, get them professionally designed, get them professionally printed, make sure that they have vibrant colors, make sure they have really good before and afters. I'll try to leave a link for my flyer down below so you guys can see my exact strategy. And if you want to get the flyer that we actually use to land this job, you can do that down below as well. Also with yard signs, better to keep them simple than complicated. Some people try to add too much text to yard signs. You got to keep in mind people are driving by pretty quick. They need to be able to look, get the gist of it, and in the event that they're interested in more information, be able to take a picture or take an action right there. And typically if it's too wordy, then it's going to be something that they're not going to pay attention to, or they're going to glance over and not be able to make out what it is and just pass it right up. So a couple mistakes that people make with regards to their marketing. I'll leave some resources down below for you guys to check that out. But essentially, we want to get a job from these so that way we can get back into the neighborhood. And that's exactly what happened on this one. Like I said, the guy saw our flyer, called us back out, and that's why we're doing this concrete cleaning now. The next tip is people need to see you working in the neighborhood, because when this happens, people will actually stop and they'll ask for a quote. We had a lady see us working in the neighborhood. She pulled up behind the trailer. We walked out to see what was the issue, and she said, hey, I'd like to get a quote on my house before you guys leave. We got her phone number, her name, her address, and we wrote over, gave her a quote, landed another job in the neighborhood, and we scheduled it out for a different day because we're trying to get into this neighborhood as many times as possible. Every single time, more yard signs, more flyers, more people are seeing us do work, and therefore we're able to get more and more work off of it. Now, in the beginning of my business, I wasn't able to get people like this that well because I just had a, 2.5 gallon a minute or 3.5 gallon a minute unit that I was lugging around the house. I didn't really look like a professional company. I will say whenever you have bigger rigs, bigger setups, bigger equipment, you got trailers, all that kind of stuff, it really helps to level up the professionalism, or at least the perceived professionalism in the eye of the customer. So having big equipment, having, some decent signage will help them to realize, hey, this must be a professional company. I need to get some work done. I'd like to stop and ask them for a quote. So having a bigger setup really helps out with regards to people stopping and asking for you to give them a quote as well. The next one is you want to try to get into the neighborhood Facebook page. If you can work your way into the neighborhood Facebook page, you are going to be off to the races. And if you leverage everything that we talked about in this video, you're going to be even better off, because at the end of the day, we spent so much money to get that first customer, but every subsequent customer is pretty much free. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a second. But I've gotten into neighborhood Facebook pages and gotten 3, 4, 5. I think even one time I got 7 quotes off of just one person posting me in the neighborhood Facebook page. And sometimes I'll post a flyer, sometimes I'll send them a before and after pic to post in the neighborhood Facebook page, but it always helps. It's one of the ways that you can run that neighborhood is by getting in that group. Another thing is you always want to be on the lookout. You always want to be listening. If anyone says anything about the HOA making them do the cleaning or getting on them about how dirty their driveway is or how dirty their roof is, see how you can get in contact with someone from the HOA so that way you can give them a discounted neighborhood rate. And what they actually may do is they actually may mandate that each home maintain a certain level of cleanliness, and in the event that they don't, then they'll be fined. And so by you going straight to the source, you're essentially going to be putting yourself in the best possible position to land as many jobs in this neighborhood as possible. Because if you go to the HOA and you say, hey, I know you guys have, you know, some type of policy with regards to how clean the houses need to be, in the event that you can give me some more work in the neighborhood, we'll give you guys, you know, a 10% discount or 15 or 20% discount on every single customer that you can get us. Because essentially at that point, we're making up in volume what we would, you know, be having to spend in ad spend and all this other stuff to get in front of these customers anyway. So it's just a win-win. It's a win-win for you as a company because you're going to get all this excess work, and it's a win for them because no longer are they going to have to get on all these people. They can just say, hey, you guys have to keep this level of cleanliness up, and we have a great company that you guys can go with in the event that your property needs a cleaning. So another way that you can leverage more jobs, get in contact with somebody from the HOA. And like I said, if they say that the HOA made them do it, then there's a good sign or a good chance that they don't have somebody currently to offer the service, and they don't have somebody that they can recommend to all their homeowners. So essentially, you guys get your foot in the door, leverage one thing into the next. This will allow you to spend more money to acquire customers, because even if you make less on job one, you make it up over the subsequent jobs. So you guys hear me talk all about how much it costs to acquire a customer. We can afford to pay more to acquire a customer if we are able to leverage neighborhoods and essentially get all the work in that neighborhood. So everything is a leverage game. Everything is how do we get our foot in the door and make more out of it. Word of the day on this one's going to be customers. If you guys made this far in the video, comment down below customers, comment down below leverage if you want to. I'll hashtag your real one either way. But if you guys are worried about the winter slowdown, be sure to check out me and Mike's class that we're doing on the 5 sneaky secrets that make him over $20,000 a month. With all that being said, my name is Justin. Forever self-employed. Till next time, hustle hard. Get that money, baby. Peace.